Okay. All right. Hey, is this Charles? I was reading an article about you on the internet. It involved Stanley Meyers. I was telling your wife I was amazed at some of Stan's work, and I've been working on some of his stuff for about 10 years now. And I had read where he had moved in with y'all. Yeah, the rumor on the internet is he was murdered or poisoned. I don't know if you know that. Yeah, they said it that put something in his cranberry juice, but I don't know if it's true or not. That's just a rumor. But in the article it said that you used to watch him run his or run a tractor off of well water. Was that a diesel tractor? So, it was a diesel? Oh, it was gasoline. Well, did... Well, yeah, I seen the dune buggy. We got all kinds of pictures of that. I've spent thousands of dollars on making the hydrogen. Over the years, I can't seem to get anywhere with it. They put air in with the hydrogen that was being produced.
Yeah, I mean he had it mixed, so that it would run the proper mixture. I don't know how he done that, but.
Huh. What was he like pumping it in there with?
You got to be careful if you build one of those units. It's a sealed unit, and you put water in it, and then have a cap that tightens on. Because it builds up pressure inside of it. Blew the lid off once in his garage, and he had a house, or his apartment was over the garage, and he tore the floor up in the apartment when it blew up. So it's powerful.
Dadgum, he must have had a lot of pressure in there. So he was using a pump to pump air into the hydrogen container.
No, it just pulled its own air from when the gasoline, the piston went down.
Yeah.
It would pull air in. I don't know how he metered it.
Well, you don't know if he put anything in the water?
No, he put nothing in the water. The water was just regular tap water. You could stop at the creek and put water in it. He never tried ocean, but he said he thought it would work too.
Well, you don't think he was an angel, do you?
I always thought he was, something along that line.
Huh? Was he he never cursed or anything like that?
Oh no, nothing like that.
You remember seeing his brother?
Oh yeah, twin brother, yeah.
He looked identical to him, didn't he?
No, they're not identical.
Well, there's a small difference, but they look a lot alike.
Yeah, they look quite a bit alike.
Well,
But, you know, his brother's been to my house up in Grove City, you know, that's where he's done that. He built that. He started out with he built solar silo, and it just, he had these light guides, and they zeroed in on the center of it and put hot sunlight down into storage underneath the ground. And he was working on that and never really got it going. But when he found out that what he was, you know, about the hydrogen, and then that, everything else stopped, then he started working on the hydrogen.
okay, he was, what are you calling light guides? Like a focusing lens?
They're just a little round, had a hat type head, or head on, you know, a round head that was rounded up, and the light guides were in two halves. And what happened, the company that sold him the plastic material, sold him a material that would get a color, it would turn color. And it didn't work very good. Instead of giving him the clear. So they were working against him on that.
But he sound like to me, along the lines of working with that, he stumbled on how to do something else.
Right, yeah. The hydrogen was going to be how to, he was going to produce electricity with the light guides and the sun, you know, and concentrate it. And then he was going to have hydrogen to take care of the gas appliances. And that's how he got stumbled onto that. He didn't think that would be the best, but it turned out to be the most, you know, what he should have done first.
So his intentions was never to run a internal combustion engine off of hydrogen.
No, not at all.
It just kind of led to that.
Right.
And you talk about these light guides. I'm still not real clear on what those are.
Well, he manufactured them. He had molds, and he poured plastic, and it would set up. You had to put a mixture, you know.
Is it like a skylight that goes in your ceiling, or?
No, this was a round silo, and it had all plexiglass sides, and plexiglass had three plexiglass lenses. And he drilled 1/2-inch holes as close as you could get them, and then had these light guides that you inserted in. There was like 150,000 of them or something like that. It was a lot. And he got that part done, and then about 3 or 4 years after he got killed, then my daughter was remodeling my house, and she wanted to know if she could take that silo down. I said, yeah, because, you know, Stan's gone, so no use keeping it. So they took it down then.
And it's gone.
Yeah, there's pictures. Dispatch had some pictures. Almost Dispatch had some pictures on the light guide.
Who did?
Or on the solar silo.
Well, they don't. All that stuff is not talked about.
Probably not.
Not very much. Everyone's trying to figure out how he got that car to run on that water, and ain't nobody can figure it out. There's people all over the internet using those stainless steel tubes that you speak about being separated.
Yeah.
I've been using plates, stainless steel plates. Stan, he knows something that we don't know about.
He was smart. He all kinds of people would come, and you could have the garbage man come, Stanley could talk to him. You have a physicist come, he could talk to him. He could talk to anybody, any brain power, you know, he could talk to them. He could talk their language. You know, every once in a while he would get talking a little bit out of my language, and I'd say, Stan. He'd say, oh, okay. So my educated idiot brain took over there for a little bit.
Well, I've been, me and a lot of other guys, we've been shooting hydrogen in these motors for honestly way over 10 years, and we can't get it to do anything. So
yeah.
we're doing something wrong. But you know, we can put a torch end on it and light it and burn it. We just apparently don't know what we're doing. And to be honest with you, to me it's an honor to even speak with you. You know, because Stan is like a celebrity in the free energy side of the electronic field.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of free energy websites on the internet, and Stan he's like one of the biggest celebrities, other than some other guy named Nikola Tesla. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
No.
But Nikola Tesla, he was the one who invented the, you know, like the phone we're talking on now. He's the one who made all that possible.
Oh, okay.
He was like an angel too, like Stan was. But the thing with Stan is everything has not been shown to us. There's parts, the most valuable pieces that we need is missing.
Yeah.
That's why we can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
And I'm searching for that piece.
Yeah.
But
I wish I could help you, but Stan gave me a book on it. My son Chuck up in Grove City, I think, has it. It's a book on a lot of stuff, you know, of his. I haven't seen my son for years, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if your son's young and he gets on the computer a lot, then he probably knows, you know, what's going on. But yeah, any information would be great. But it's just, you know, so he lived with you about 2 months. What's the internet says something?
But he was here every day, or there at the house every day for several years. I mean, 4 or 5 years.
And he was just a stranger off the street?
Off the street. Come in. And this is how he would go in to businesses, and like he got the stainless steel tubing, he went to, I don't remember what company it was in Columbus, and went in and talked to them, and they gave it to him.
Oh, wow.
And all this stuff was given to him. And I gave him a pair of shoes once. He was wearing tennis shoes with holes in them. And I had a brand new pair of boots still in the box. And I said, Stan, what size do you wear? And he said, 12. I said, that's what these are. They're for you. And he wore them for a couple years. But it's unreal what it, you know, the money he probably several $1 million he probably had donated to him.
Oh, wow. There's no chance he's still alive, is it? You don't think there's any chance he's still alive somewhere, do you?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Well, was his brother, Stephen, was he good with electronics, or was he smart?
Not as smart as Stan.
Okay.
He's pretty smart, but Stan was way above him, you know.
Okay. Well, what'd you think about seeing Stan run that tractor on that water?
It just ran in the garage. He didn't go anywhere on it. But then when he got the dune buggy, he run it all over.
And you don't think there was any gas involved?
No, there was no gas. When it ran out, he better be home. get somebody to come get him. Or bring him some gas. He could pour gas in it to go then, because it was still basically like it was. He had a Volkswagen engine in it, and it would run off of gasoline. But he had a shut-off valve, and he would shut it off. And then when he went on some of his runs, he drained the gas out, and he tried to figure out how far that it would actually go. And he wanted to make sure it wasn't getting any gas, so he drained the tank. And it had shut-off valve too. But it wouldn't keep going. He never got that far with it.
You mean the water technology wouldn't power the car out of the driveway?
Well, it wouldn't produce enough hydrogen. It would go off for maybe 20 or 30 minutes. It would run, and then it would run. It'd get to where it wouldn't go anymore.
He would
Then
start.
he'd have to recharge the system.
Yeah, he would start.
He'd have to start the engine and get the 12-volt alternator going to produce more hydrogen. So he was working on how he was going to get more hydrogen to keep it, to keep going with it.
Okay. Well, they're saying on the internet that he hit it with apparently a magic frequency that busted the water up almost free of charge. That didn't really cost any like what you seen stand out there using the alternator or whatever. Basically, they're saying that he could have made all that hydrogen with a very small battery and never would have had to pull over. That the hydrogen was almost coming completely free.
Yeah. Well, he may have been off a little bit on that part.
I think so. I don't think that's words out of his mouth.
But now, last I talked to him, he was working on some injectors, and he was going to have put injectors. You'd drill a hole in your engine beside of your spark plug, and put a injector in. That's what he was planning on doing. I don't know if he had done it or not, but all different cars would take different injectors. And he even made them for diesel engines, where you could run through the same injector that the diesel would run on.
Yeah, those diesel injectors are a bit different from these gasoline injectors. They work off of a very high pressure.
Yeah.
I'm talking. I don't know roughly, but I know it's high, very high. So high in pressure when it comes out, it'll burn you.
On the diesel?
Yeah, with the diesel, there's different types of.
Diesel is about 2,500 pounds per square inch.
Yeah, there you go. You're pretty sharp yourself. Well, I've been working on it, I've been back and forth. Well, did he run it on hydrogen, or maybe he ran it on water? Maybe he just ran it on straight water and didn't even produce any hydrogen. Maybe it just turned into a steam inside the injector, and the steam's what pushed the piston down. But the way it's read is it worked, and it's not anything that had any problems. It was all perfect. It was completely finished.
Yeah.
So I don't know if later on he figured out how to convert a water droplet directly into a steam gas.
Now, can you get a hold of his patents?
Yeah, we have all of his patents, but I'm not.
That should tell you.
I'm not completely sure his patents, they're way over a lot of people's heads.
Yeah.
They're not to where a lot of people can understand them.
Right.
And a lot of, I mean, there's several patents that we've picked, and we've just worked on one particular patent for years, and we never get any results out of it. There's something missing that that's not in those patents.
Yeah. He may have kept something back. I don't know.
He definitely did, which is one reason you're the only person that I know that's seen him run that tractor on water. So something between that hydrogen fuel cell and that tractor, there was something there that's not, that you probably didn't see.
Well, he took a gas line loose, and the tractor would run out of gas, and then he'd hook a hydrogen up to it, and then start it back up. And I breathed the exhaust, had the exhaust come out, and it wasn't hot. It wasn't cold, but it wasn't hot. You know, like.
Do you think he modified any part on that tractor in any way?
No, because when he got done with it and started working on the dune buggy, that was I mowed the grass with it. So I used it for several years after that.
So you think he hooked his hydrogen line directly to the gasoline line? And
yeah, I think he just hooked it on to where the gasoline went in the carburetor. And
well, do you remember how long the tractor would run?
It'd run probably 10 minutes.
10 minutes. But you said he would run it out of gas first.
Yeah. To make sure, that he was running on hydrogen and not gasoline.
Okay. And he would run it completely out.
Yeah.
And then he'd just unhook the gas tank and hook his line up. And you don't think the hydrogen generator was pressurized? You don't think it built up any amount of pressure?
Well, the hydrogen unit was round and had these
it was about
stainless steel tubes in it.
Okay.
With electric running to each one, and it had a tube inside of a tube insulated away from each other. And the one tube was negative and the other one was positive.
Mm-hmm.
And that would create the hydrogen gas and run the engine.
Okay. Yeah, and he did have a pressure gauge on there.
Oh, yeah.
But you did mention something about him bringing in ambient air into the generator.
Well, he done that on the dune buggy.
Oh, that was later on. That wasn't.
Yeah.
So maybe the tractor was all pressurized.
Yeah, I think so. And the tractor wouldn't run. He had the same unit on a single cylinder tractor that he used on the 4-cylinder dune buggy.
Oh, the tractor was a 1-cylinder?
Yeah.
What kind of, do you remember what kind of tractor it was?
I can't remember offhand. It was, my brother-in-law used to sell them, and he had a hardware.
Well, that's okay.
It had a Kohler engine in it. I think it was a single-cylinder Kohler, and it was about
the size of a
12 horsepower or something like that.
About the size of a lawnmower?
Yeah, it was a lawnmower.
Oh, okay.
Riding lawnmower.
Oh, so it wasn't a tractor. It was kind of like a mini. It was between a tractor and a lawnmower.
Yeah, it had a rototiller with it and a blade through snow, and it was a pretty nice Boland's. It was a Boland's tractor.
Boland's, and it'd probably run the 80-something model.
Yeah, well, let's see.
Okay. Well, you don't know how glad I am to even get to speak with you.
What brought him to my house? He had an ad in the paper about solar energy, solar silo, and I called him up and he came to see me, and he talked to me, and then we agreed, that he could research it, and his research and development he could do there, and in my basement, I set up a place for him in the basement where he had a neon light and his computer. I think he had a computer, I'm not sure. But anyway, whatever he needed, he would get it. No money or not, he'd still get it. Somebody give it to him. I never did see.
So, was he living down there or just visiting a lot?
We had a bed for him. I had a 4-bedroom house and I had an empty room, and he stayed in that room. And then done his work in the basement and on his drafting and stuff like that, drawing out stuff.
And about how old was he when this was going on?
He's younger than I am. He was probably late 30s.
Okay. So no women? He had no girlfriends?
He got married, but he never brought a girlfriend around. He didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
He was too busy.
He must have really loved what he was doing.
Yeah, he did. But when he came to my house, see, I hauled mail. I had a mail contract. And he said, "This is where I want to be." He said, the first day I got here, and I saw there was trucks with U.S. mail on the side of them, he said, I knew that I had to do my stuff here because nobody would bother me. Because this is a government agency, and they won't be prowling around as bad. And we never had any problem.
Who was he afraid that was going to bother him?
Well, he thought, I don't remember what all he said. But he said that, I told him once, I said, "Stanley, don't get into any, if you're afraid of your life, and for your life, don't get into any habits. Don't form any habits. Because that's something for somebody to capitalize on, and that's what I think it got him. Because he ate breakfast in that restaurant every morning."
Yeah, and he ate with, was that the morning he died?
Yeah.
He died in the morning, not at night?
Well, I don't remember.
Well, I don't remember.
Meal.
Yeah. But he, obviously, Stan and his brother was eating at Cracker Barrel, probably.
No, it was on the other side of the main dragger. Can't remember the name of it now.
No, that's fine. That's okay. I'm just...
But it's about as far away from Stringtown Road goes across, is the road there. Cracker Barrel's on the south side of it, and this is on the north side. See, I lived on Marlane Drive, went right beside that restaurant.
Yeah.
So he would eat there and then come right to my house.
Well, when's the last time you seen Stephen, his brother?
When was what?
Do you not see his brother? Did he not ever... Did y'all not...
His brother never came around after he died.
Huh. So Stan mostly is the only one out of the entire family that you knew.
Come again on that?
You really didn't know anyone other than Stan? You didn't know his parents or anything like that?
I met his mother twice.
She
was a nice woman, and, but she never left him alone mostly. And
I'm just wondering if, if Stan had a good firm place at home to take care of him. It sounds like he was. They kind of make it sound like he was struggling and he didn't have anywhere to go, and he found you, and that's the way it kind of sounded.
He grew up. His parents were wealthy.
Okay.
He grew up with money.
Oh, okay.
And he grew up with chemistry sets and everything he wanted like that.
Okay. Oh, I see.
And he about burnt the garage down once. In fact, I was over there with him one day, and he said, "Come here, I'll show you something." On the garage on the inside, some of the boards are still charred, where the fire.
Yeah, I sure wished I could have met him. I see videos and CDs of Stanley Meyer talking, giving lectures and stuff.
Yeah.
I see all kinds of those videos. But, over the years, new stuff pops up. But, just, what you're saying to me, and based on what you've seen, and based on what we've been researching and doing, it isn't making any sense. Honestly, between me and you, it sounds like to me that the water that Stan may have been using may be different than the water that we're using.
Well, he was using my well water.
That's some very clean water.
But, no chemicals in it.
Well, well water don't conduct electricity unless you put something in it. And that's, that's strange. The only time water will conduct electricity is when it's got contaminants in it. And
well, there was
a large amount of contaminants. Just a fair little bit of contaminants won't cause conduction. Well water and rainwater is really clean. The reason
my water was 32 grains hard. That means anything.
Well, the reason we get hydrogen from water with the tubes that Stan was using is because we're applying a current through it. And most of the guys that's doing it, they can't produce enough hydrogen, so they're putting a chemical in there with it. Lye. I don't know if you know what lye is. That's what's used to make soap. They're putting that in there with it just so they can get enough gas.
Well, he explained it to me on that, the round hydrogen unit. It has these stainless steel tubings in it, and there's one's negative and one's positive, and one's inside the other, and they will spark against each other, and that is what produced the hydrogen.
Oh.
And so actually, what he was doing was controlling a bomb.
So you can't do that with water that's got additives in it. So your water, you feel, was extremely clean.
It was hard, but it was clean water. But
and
very hard.
he did mention that you could use salt water or any other type of water. It makes me wonder if he had some kind of way to clean this water before he put it in his fuel cell. Maybe that's why he said he could use.
No, because he ran out of hose, my hose on the house, in to fill that unit. I seen him do that before. And he would hook it up to a 12-volt battery and let it build up some pressure, and then he would start the tractor out there, the little Boyle's tractor. And,
he never made any comments between well water and city water?
Now, he tried different waters. He told me that, but the only thing I seen him use was my well water. But he did say that he wanted to sell it to the Navy because they're running in hydrogen. All they got to do is take the seawater and
Well, that's over my head right there.
Yeah, it was over mine too. Most of his talking was, but he would sit and explain stuff to me, and if I keep saying what, he'd keep explaining.
You think he was completely open to you about it?
Do what now?
You think he was completely opening up to the way?
Yeah, because he didn't fear me, because, you know, I was one of his best friends at that time. And,
so you think that by your personal thoughts on us using water that's basically, you know what's in tap water, nasty stuff, and any water that's not very clean, we can't seem to use any clean water because we can't get the electricity to go through it. If that makes any sense to you.
Well, I don't know. No, it don't really. I mean, I seen him hook it up with the lid off of that unit, and they were sparking all the units, all the little pipes down in there, pipes inside of pipes were snapping, you know, like an electrical short. It would kill a battery pretty quick.
And
it would get a real good alternator to keep that battery up.
Do you think he had something between the battery and the fuel cell? Maybe some kind of electronic device to maybe an alternator. Something to boost the voltage, maybe to make it spark like that.
He just used the battery, and there's, you know, units, or they're not units, the pipe inside of a pipe, and I don't remember exactly what he used.
You don't remember any coils or wires or?
Well, every one of them was wired. The inside pipe was one color, and the outside pipe was another color.
Yeah, that's what I didn't understand. It kind of looked like a bronze color. I thought stainless was shiny.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
That's what he was using, stainless tubing, because...
Well, you know the color of it, like if you go in like appliance store, you'll see a stainless refrigerator or the color of that, and you know the color of brass. I thought it was a mixture in between the two when I seen it.
I don't know what grade. There's a lot of different grades of stainless steel.
Yeah.
I don't know what grade it was. But, I don't think I got any more of those tubes. I had some tubes for quite a while, but I used them for other stuff. I don't know what.
Sounds like you do a little bit of experimenting yourself.
I have I've always been able to repair about anything going, you know. I work with my hands, and, you know, not real smart, but
well, that
I always picked up stuff real quick.
The fuel cell that you seen Stan playing with, which, you know, it was about what, a foot? It's about knee high, maybe a little.
No, it was 16, 18 inches tall for the tractor, and then he went up to maybe a 2 foot tall.
How many tubes was it?
Dune buggy.
How many tubes was in the one on the tractor?
I mean, what?
Tubes, stainless steel. Was it like? Did it have like 6 of them in there?
There's tubes.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a lot of them, maybe 50.
50.
Yeah.
Well, in his videos on the internet, he shows like 8 or 9 tubes, maybe 6 tubes. That's about a 1.5 feet tall, or about 6 18-inch tubes or something like that, one inside of the other.
Well, he could have changed that later on, because when he moved away from my place and moved into that garage apartment, I didn't see him very often. Most of the time I'd go there, he'd be gone, you know, and I'd drive by and see his car there, and I'd pull in and talk to him, but I didn't see him too many times, because I was hauling mail, and I was a mail contractor, and I worked 10.5 hours a day, 6 days a week. I didn't have much time for anything else.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean to bother you with all these questions, but to be honest with you, I feel special even getting to talk with you, to be honest. Because to me, Stan is like a celebrity to me.
Oh, yeah, he's one of the smartest people I ever knew.
I mean, a lot of people sit at home and they got their celebrities that they watch on TV.
Yeah.
But Stan's my celebrity.
Right. I mean, he knew.
And I just, you're one of the few that's left that could even, comment on any of his work.
Yeah.
And the guys
are you religious?
Yeah, I'm Church of Christ. I don't go to church like I should, but I am religious.
But he can talk in tongues.
Oh.
Did you ever hear that?
I've heard of it. Huh. Would he do that? Would he do that at church?
He done it at my house. Some guy came there, and after the guy left, he said that guy was here to do damage to me and you, and he had that feeling, and he talked in tongues, and I thought, why? Come on here. And,
couldn't understand him.
And he rebuked that guy, said, I rebuke you, and pointed his finger at him, and that guy left. And
you don't know.
He wasn't a guy that would leave. He felt something, Stan put something in him or something. He felt something when he was pointed at him. Just like an electric charge hit him or something.
Wow. You don't know, are you not familiar with a guy by the name of Off, are you?
Of a what?
Off, his name's Off, U-L-F?
No,
Okay, I didn't know if you would be or not. He's another guy that Stan had, he also seen Stan's inventions, too. But based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like to me that, if we put a normal car battery on 2 stainless steel tubes, if the water's dirty, it'll produce hydrogen. But if it's well water, like what you have at your home, it won't do anything. It'll just sit there. It won't even, that white stuff, the hydrogen won't even come off of it.
Well, it would start boiling, it would start sparking, and these little tiny sparks, and then it would start boiling. The water would start boiling.
I understand that it was a long time when you seen all this. I just wondered, did he hook the tubes directly to the battery with a well water in there, or if maybe he had.
That's what he done at first. I don't know if he done any. He had off and on switches later on, and had it all, in boxes and stuff. He was very neat doing stuff.
Okay. Checking my phone battery here. I'm on a cell phone. Yeah, I don't want to bother you at all, but I've had a lot of fun talking to you, and I don't want to offend you or anything. But how old are you now?
76.
You're 70, man. Well, you sure don't sound like it.
My birthday is 9/11.
9/11.
I'll be 77.
Oh wow.
I had that before the Twin Towers.
Oh wow.
But that was a bad birthday for me.
Well, my name's Brian Coates, and I've built wrecked cars all my life, and I got out of that. I'm 30 years old, and I started my own heating and cooling company, and on the side, I researched Stanley Meyer's work, which I built me a little 10-foot wide by 20-foot long office out here, and that's all I do is research Stan's work.
Yeah.
And like I said,
where you from?
I'm right here from Florence, Alabama.
Florence, Alabama.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing, one of the articles was saying that I can't remember if I asked you about it or not. Let me see if I can find this. I want to read it to you. Let me see if I can find it. I was reading this to your wife. Okay, Charlie Hughes, now 36 years old, vividly recalls the strangers who visited his parents' home in the late 1970s. He had been playing outside when the driveway suddenly filled with limousines. Men in turbans stepped out. In stern, thick accents, they asked for Mr. Meyer. I remember because I was not allowed in my own house that day. They left briskly. Charlie was about to go inside when the driveway filled again, this time with military vehicles, Army brass, he called. At dinner that night, Stanley Meyer told them the Arabs wanted to offer me $250 million to stop work.
Right.
Does all that sound accurate?
Uh-huh.
That sounds like...
I seen part of that.
Was there a lot of vehicles in and out of there?
Yeah, every my driveway.
It must have been something pretty serious then, huh?
Yeah, see, he was, at that time, he was working with, I think it was the Air Force. And he had some colonels and some brass anyway, military brass, at one of his seminars, and I went to it.
Well, I've always thought that Stan had seen something inside the military that triggered all of this. But, I've heard and read so much that you don't ever know what to think. But I've always thought that he has visually seen a lot of stuff that someone like you and I don't usually get to see.
Right.
And maybe he has picked up a few things and put the system together.
Yeah. Now, he always told me, he said, you will see this work in your lifetime. And I'm not going to.
Well, everyone's trying the best that they can, but they haven't found the lost piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. Now, see, he was not going to make a penny off this.
Yeah.
It was all for the second coming of Christ is what his big project was. Well,
I seen my fuel cell. I have one probably identical to Stan's. You probably couldn't tell it apart if you seen it. And I blowed it up and I busted the container. And it had water that was, moisture that was still in it. And all the tubes started sparking and, making electrical pops. And you could visually see little static pops.
Yeah.
But that only happened one time. And I never could figure out why it done that. And the chances of that happening again is slim and none.
Yeah.
But, what's got me stunned is, you said he was using well water.
That's what he used at first, because I seen him put it in,
Well, that completely turns the technology that we're working on. That completely gives us a 180, because the hydrogen that we produce, well water's too clean. We can't get no electricity to go through it. In order for it to conduct, it's going to have some kind of contaminants in it.
Well, see, the water was shorting out between the small and larger pipe that was, one inside the other. The water is what was shorting them out and causing the arc to get it to bubble and produce the hydrogen.
You think it was a 12-volt arc?
A 12-volt car battery is what he used. It was all mobile, so And that dune buggy, Charlie Holbrook in Washington Courthouse has it.
Do what now?
Charlie Holbrook
And that's we're at in Ohio?
Washington Courthouse.
Now you understand that that dune buggy has moved around a lot in the past 2 or 3 years.
Well, it could be, but the last I knew about it was probably 2 or 3 years ago, and Charlie Holbrook had it. And it was in his garage, so he may have sold to somebody.
It's not all there anyway, I don't think.
It was. When he had it, he drove it in and parked it.
You think he drove it in on water?
He worked with him. Charlie worked with him.
There was a lot of younger guys in the videos of Stan's that was working on the buggy.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure that out. And some of them looked like sandy blonde-headed guys that wore glasses, and they looked like they was about, I don't know, 18 years old.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if those guys maybe was some guys that Stan had maybe was selling the technology to. And that was back when he was showing the computerized injectors and how to tune them and delay them, and he was checking the injectors before he installed them on the car with the computers.
Yeah.
That's when these other guys, and there was a pretty good fair bit of guys there, about 4 or 5 of them that was working with him. Well, I couldn't figure that one out because I thought Stan worked alone.
No, he always he had I can't remember the boy's name, but he lived in the Columbus area, and he came down there for over a year, every day. He was coming to work and work all day long. He helped build the light guides. This was on that solar silo, and then when Stan started on the hydrogen, then he stayed with him, but he run out of money and he had to go back to work. So he just took time off and was living off of some money he had to put back. And then Charlie Holbrook, from Washington Courthouse, he got in touch with him. Stan had a seminar, I think, that Charlie went to, and Charlie was a block layer. He laid concrete block. That's what his job, that's what he done for a living.
Mm-hmm.
So then he helped Stanley. I think Stanley chose mostly people that couldn't pick up on what he was doing too quick,
Mm-hmm. Did Charlie get the car before Stan died, or was it after Stan died?
I don't really know. I think it was before. I think Stanley felt that something was going to happen to it, and he had Charlie take it to his house.
He's got his head. What? Is there 2 different buggies?
His what?
I believe I see 2 different buggies instead of 1. I think there was 2.
One's all I ever seen.
Well, maybe he updated it, made it look different. The light guides for the solar silo. What was the purpose of the light guides? What?
That was to make a lens to direct the sunlight to the center.
It focused it.
It was 24 foot high. It was like a farmer's silo. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. That's tall.
Yeah, and round, like a solar silo.
And these lenses, the lenses was measured maybe 2 foot in diameter. These things were like huge.
They were bigger than that.
Bigger than that?
It was about 10 foot inside. The diameter was about 10 foot on it.
Golly.
24 foot high, and had the top was at a certain angle, direct the light down to the center, and he had left and right light guides and center light guides.
He was
had all these directed down into storage.
It sounded like to me he was after heat. He was after the heat?
Yeah,
What was he going to do with all that heat?
Use it to heat people's houses, and hot water.
And that's when he realized that he wanted to quit. And
well, he was gonna produce hydrogen to take the place of your gas. You know, anything that ran on gas, gas furnace or anything like that, then it would run on.
Well, I'm trying to relate this solar silo to why he switched to the hydrogen car. Because he was working on the solar silo, then suddenly he wasn't interested in it anymore.
Right.
He'd seen something.
Well, that's when the hydrogen. I mean, he already knew basically about the hydrogen, but when he started working on it to develop it, he said, "Whoa, this is a lot more than I thought it was going to be. This will do it all. Don't need nothing else."
You mean he was using the solar silo to somehow work with the hydrogen generator?
Well, the hydrogen was just going to, if you had a hot water tank, electric hot water tank, then the heat from your solar silo, it had a bunch of copper pipes in it, and it was covered up. He had 3 or 4 different materials in it. I mean, you had truckloads. and they'd put it in and out. He had aluminum to start with, and he got aluminum from that had what's the aluminum that'll burn?
Huh.
Can't remember now, but very flammable one. No, he didn't want that, so he took that out, and he tried to get a whole aluminum. It didn't have that property in it that would burn.
I don't see how Stan ever got as smart as he was. He was in college. How did he get so?
He wasn't in college when I knew him.
How did he get so smart? Was he an angel?
I think he was.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
He wasn't involved. You don't think he had any involvement in the military or anything like that before any of this, do you?
No, he wasn't in the military.
Because I heard him talking about running jets off of his hydrogen and tanks and stuff. I was wondering how the military got involved with Stan.
I don't know, but they did.
Yeah,
I was at one of their seminars at Deer Creek Lake Park. They have a big meeting room, and he had a seminar there, and had several high-ranking Air Force. I always thought the Navy is the ones that could use it better because they're running in water, and there's their fuel.
Do you think they're using that now?
I don't know. I wouldn't surprise me.
You know Stanley Meyer. I don't know if you know this or not, but he talked about he was helping develop some ships that would go underwater at high velocities.
Yeah.
And it worked a lot like the hydrogen fuel cell. I didn't understand a lot of it, but he did speak some on that. He spoke some on some kind of, I can't remember how he pronounced it, Starcraft, Star Wars program or something or another.
Yeah.
He talked some on that.
Yeah.
But now, after speaking with you, all I have left to do is empty out all the dirty tap water out of my fuel cell to start all over. And that may take me 20 more years to figure out,
Yeah.
But you say he's using a car battery and spring water, or, Well water. Was it well water?
Yeah, it came from 183 feet deep.
183 foot deep. Well, that's some of the cleanest water you can get.
Yeah.
And you, if he was putting anything inside the water, would you have known it?
Yeah, I wouldn't known it.
He wasn't doing that.
No, I saw him fill that fuel cell up several times, and then.
You think there was something inside that fuel cell that was acting as an additive that was maybe becoming consumed? That was dissolving, that maybe was the... You don't think so?
It was aluminum. He did say that the tubes may have to be replaced because they may, it may corrode them up a little bit.
Do you think he had any aluminum in there with the stainless?
Well, the first unit that he made was aluminum. It was aircraft aluminum, I think. He got it at North American Surplus. North American Aviation Surplus in Columbus.
Would the ones he was running the tractor on, was they aluminum?
Yeah.
That was not stainless.
No, they had stainless tubes inside of it, but it was aircraft aluminum.
Okay, I'm real confused. My cell has inside aluminum. Inside stainless tube, and it's separated with tie straps, and the outside tube is also stainless steel. So I have two stainless steel tubes with a spacing.
He had two stainless steel tubes, but he had a lot of them.
And some of them may have been aluminum. So the one that he ran the tractor off of, do you think that was stainless steel or aluminum?
Well, I always thought it was stainless, and I've used them. What the heck? I can't remember. My wife had a fish tank, and the pieces go down in for the bubbling and stuff. She kept having trouble with that, so I took one of those stainless steel tubes and fit it in there, and never did have no trouble.
Well, he could have been using aluminum, you would say.
Well, I thought that the tank was aluminum. It was an aircraft aluminum, which is very strong.
Oh, he was using an aluminum tank with stainless steel tubes inside of it.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. He was just using that aluminum tank to hold that water.
Right. Yeah.
But he wasn't really using aluminum electrodes. No. Okay.
But he could have used stainless later on it when he built another tank.
But his electrodes was always stainless.
Yeah. But I had a trail bike, and I had got a piece of aluminum to make me a fender, so I mud run it, and so I have a high fender, and I took his aircraft aluminum and cut it to fit, and then I bolted it on, and then I had to pull it down, bend it down, and then bolt it, and I had it bent like that for about 2 years, and I took it loose, and boom, it's like a spring, it went right back straight. And I was telling him about that. And so that's how I remember that he got that aircraft aluminum and used it to make that tank with.
So that's strange. That's very strange. That it would go straight. It would straighten itself back out.
Well, that's your aircraft tempered aluminum, so it'll do that.
Huh. Well, I don't reckon the public ever sees anything like that.
No, but if you have North American Aviation, and it was their surplus, you could go buy surplus. And I went and bought a piece of surplus aluminum to make it front and back fender. I had to but that was quite a bit. After 2 years, it just come back straight. Now, if I would have heated it and grooved it, I could have, it wouldn't have been round, a nice round like I had. It would have been, stepped,
Well, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get a battery and put it on my fuel cell. When I put that well water in there, it's just going to sit there and do nothing.
Right? It should do a little sparking and then boiling like, and then if you run a pipe off of it, you ought to be able to light it.
No, when you say boiling, do you remember what it... I know it's been a long time, but did you say a white cloud come off the top of the tubes, or was it bubbles, big bubbles?
It was real tiny bubbles.
And they were white?
Yeah. There's where the air and water or whatever was.
Could you hear anything happening inside the fuel cell?
Yeah, there was you could hear it almost like water starting to boil in a pan or something. Yeah.
Okay, but you didn't hear any popping or anything like that.
No, when he first done it, it was snapping a very, very light snaps. I wouldn't be able to hear it now because I can't hear it too good now. But back then I had real good hearing.
But he didn't have a vacuum on his fuel cell or anything like that.
No, not that I've seen.
Okay. Okay. Did he have electronics that he was working, that he built from the ground up, just laying around?
No.
No, you didn't say.
He said that it's so simple that people won't be hard. They won't realize. It's just very simple.
Well, I just wonder if it's the material that we're able to get our hands on today. Well, I certainly appreciate your time and talking to me.
No, you're welcome.
I don't want to wear out my welcome. I'm honored to speak with you.
I don't mind.
And are you the one that lives in the 2-story house where the buggy was parked?
Yeah, I know. I don't now. I still own that house, so I have.
Well,
two of my kids live in it.
Well, the way the video makes it look out, it looks like it's Stanley Meyer's house because he opens up the garage door and there's a dune buggy in there, and he's the one that answers the door, and you can see his computer. And I never knowed it wasn't his house.
They were using my house, and then they went over to his garage apartment and done the rest of it, I'd say.
And I'd imagine it was a lot smaller.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, a one-car garage.
Well, my name's Brian Coates from Florence, Alabama, and I may call you back one day, just, later on.
Okay.
I had fun talking to you, and maybe one day we can talk.
What I can remember.
Yeah, well, I appreciate your help, and can I share some of the information that you give me with some of my friends that's experimenting?
Oh, no, I don't care.
You don't care?
I mean, it's nothing to me now. I mean, I'm retired, so, I could care less.
Okay. Well, I certainly appreciate it. It's been an honor even speaking with you.
All right, you're welcome.
All right. Well, have a nice night. What time is it over there? Because it's 10
after 9.
10 after 9. You're an hour ahead of me.
Yeah.
It's 8:10 over here, so it's probably about your bedtime.
Yeah, I go to bed around midnight.
Well, I sure enjoyed it, Charles, and I appreciate
Get up
it.
at 10 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you for everything.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, bye.
Bye.